There are 9 unmistakable signs that happen when you truly connect with someone on a soul level. And I'm not talking about surface level attraction or just physical chemistry. I'm talking about that deep, authentic connection where you actually touch her soul. Here's what most people get wrong. They think connection is about grand gestures or saying the perfect words. But real soul level connection, it's something completely different. In this video, you're going to learn 3 things. First, what does it actually mean to touch someone's soul? Second, the 9 things that always happen when you achieve this connection. And third, how you can create this kind of depth in your own relationships. If you don't understand this, you'll keep wondering why some connections feel shallow while others feel life-changing. But imagine being able to walk into any relationship knowing exactly how to create that profound bond that most people spend their entire lives searching for. What? What does it mean to touch her soul? Does it mean to touch her soul? Let me be clear about something. Touching someone's soul isn't about manipulation. It's not about tricks or techniques. It's about genuine connection where you see someone for who they truly are, not who they pretend to be. It's when you connect with their fears, their dreams, their authentic self that they don't show most people. It wasn't until I learned to be vulnerable, to really listen, to see her beyond the surface that things changed. And when they did, these 9 things started happening. Sign number 1, she opens up about her. Sign number 1, she opens up about her deepest fears. Deepest fears. When you touch someone's soul, the walls come down. Not immediately, but gradually. She'll start sharing things she's never told anyone else. Her childhood wounds, her secret insecurities, the things that keep her up at night. Why does this happen? Because when you connect to a soul level, you create safety. Real safety. Not the kind where she feels physically protected, but the kind where she feels emotionally protected. Where she knows you won't judge her, won't use her vulnerabilities against her, won't dismiss what matters to her. Sign number 2. She seeks your opinion on things that matter. 2. She seeks your opinion on things that matter. Here's something interesting. When you touch her soul, she doesn't just ask you what you think about surface level stuff. She asks you about the big things, her career decisions, her family situations, her purpose in life. This isn't about her being dependent on you. It's the opposite. It's about her valuing your perspective so deeply that she wants your input on the things that shape her life. She trusts your judgment, not just with practical matters, but with her heart. And here's the beautiful part. She doesn't always take your advice. Sometimes she goes a completely different direction, but she wanted to hear your thoughts because your opinion matters to her soul, not just her mind. Sign number 3. She remembers the sign number 3. She remembers the small details. You share small details you share. Pay attention to this one. When someone's soul is touched, they remember everything, not because they're trying to, but because they genuinely care. She'll remember that story you told about your childhood pet, that random comment you made about your favorite season, that vulnerability you showed 3 months ago when you talked about your fears. Why? Because when you touch someone's soul, you become significant. Not just important, but significant. There's a difference. Important people fill a role in your life. Significant people shape who you are, and you don't forget what shapes you. Sign number 4. She shows vulnerability without fear. 4. She shows vulnerability without fear. This is huge. Most people guard their vulnerability like it's a weakness, but when you touch her soul, something shifts. She becomes comfortable being imperfect around you. She'll cry in front of you. She'll admit when she's wrong. She'll show you her messy side without trying to clean it up first. Now she doesn't care if I see her at her worst, because I've proven that I love her soul, not just her appearance, and that kind of acceptance is what happens when real connection exists. Sign number 5, she defends you when you're not around. Sign number 5, she defends you when you're not around. Here's a powerful indicator. When you touch someone's soul, they become your advocate even when you're not there to hear it. She'll defend your character to her friends. She'll stand up for you to her family, not because she's blind to your flaws, but because she sees your heart. She sees your intentions, she sees your soul, and she protects what she values. Sign number 6, she wants you in her future plans. When you touch her soul, you're not just part of her present, you're woven into her future. She talks about next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and you're in every vision. It's not just we should travel someday, it's when we go to Italy in 2 years. I want to show you this specific place I've dreamed about. It's not maybe we could live somewhere else. It's I think our kids would love growing up near the mountains. See the difference? You've moved from possibility to certainty in her mind because her soul has decided your home. Sign number. Sign number 7. She challenges you to grow. 7. She challenges you to grow. This might surprise you, but when you touch someone's soul, they don't just accept you as you are. They challenge you to become better. Not in a nagging way, not in a critical way, but in a way that says, I see your potential and I want you to reach it. She'll call you out when you're settling. She'll push you when you're playing small. She'll hold you accountable when you're not living up to your own standards. Why? Because she cares about your soul too. And she knows that your soul wants more than comfort. It wants growth. Sign number 8. She creates space for your emotions. 8. She creates space for your emotions. In a world that tells men to be strong, to suppress emotions, to always have it together, this sign is revolutionary. When you touch her soul, she creates space for yours. She asks how you're really feeling. She notices when something's off. She doesn't just accept I'm fine as an answer. She digs deeper because she cares about your emotional world, not just your practical one. And here's what's beautiful. She doesn't try to fix everything. Sometimes she just listens. Sometimes she just holds space because she understands that your soul needs to be heard, not fixed. Sign number 9, she chooses you again. Sign number 9, she chooses you again and again and again. This is the ultimate sign. When you touch someone's soul, they don't just love you once. They choose you every single day. Even when you argue, even when life gets hard, even when the initial excitement fades, she wakes up and chooses you, not out of obligation, not out of habit, but because her soul recognizes yours. That's the truth about soul connection. Truth about soul connection. Now, here's what I need you to understand. You can't force this. You can't manipulate someone into a soul connection. It has to be genuine. It has to be earned through consistency, vulnerability, and authenticity. And here's something even more important. It goes both ways. If you want to touch her soul, you have to let her touch yours. You have to be willing to be seen, to be vulnerable, to let your walls down. This isn't about techniques. It's not about what to say or how to act. It's about who you are when no one's watching. It's about your character, your integrity, your depth. How to create this connection. How to create this connection. So how do you actually create this kind of connection? Let me give you 3 foundational principles. First, be present, not just physically, but emotionally. Put your phone down, make eye contact, actually listen instead of just waiting for your turn to talk. Presence is the gateway to connection. Second, be vulnerable first. Don't wait for her to open up. You lead the way. Share your fears, admit your mistakes, show her it's safe to be real with you by being real first. Third, be consistent. Soul connection isn't built in a moment. It's built over time through small, consistent actions that prove you're trustworthy, that you see her, that you value her beyond what she does for you. The relationship game changer. I can tell you that relationship problems aren't about communication techniques, they're about depth of connection. When you touch someone's soul, communication becomes easier. Conflict becomes manageable. Love becomes sustainable because you're not just connected on the surface, you're connected at the core. So let me ask you in your current relationship or the relationship you want to build, are you aiming for surface connection or soul connection? Are you trying to impress or trying to connect? Are you showing your representative or showing your soul? Your challenge. Here's my challenge for you this week. If you're in a relationship, have one conversation where you're completely vulnerable. Share something you've been afraid to share. Ask a question you've been afraid to ask. Create space for real connection. And if you're single, start practicing now. With friends, with family, with yourself. Learn to be comfortable with depth. Because when you meet someone whose soul you want to touch, you'll need to know how to let them touch yours.